Hello and welcome to this video in which we're talking about a definitive guide on piercing your total addressable market and stamping out pretenders whilst avoiding operational bottlenecks. So this is going to be about how to take majority market share for your service and monopolize your entire niche. So in terms of the direct definition of monopoly, this is the exclusive possession or control of supply of or a trade in a commodity or service. So control of the supply of or trade. The supply or trade, that's a typo, my bad. So this is the supply or trade in a commodity or service. So let's go further back. Mono means one, poly means many. This is one takes many. This is going to be a longer video. If you're not used to watching these longer videos, it's probably for a reason, and you're probably not meant to make it. But if you are, looking to get rich and you're looking to make a lot of money online, make a lot of money with a business, then this is definitely for you. And again, if you can't sit through this video, you're probably not going to make money anyway, so it's probably best that you click off the video now. But let's get into it. So transparently, I pretty much made this entire thing up. So this thing is from thin air completely, but it has the juice to add pretty much millions to the right business. So from my perspective, I've seen behind the curtain of a lot of these top internet marketers, and this process beats theirs. So respectfully, I really like these guys, but this process beat theirs. This is because nobody has quite cracked it yet. So even the ones that you think might have, still kind of haven't. But it's not really, that's a story for another day. So the people that have deployed this have pretty much all added 6 figures in annual contract value within 60 days. Or less, usually about 30 days, and will go on to seamlessly dominate their niches with 15K MRR weeks pretty standard with this system. Not consistently, obviously, because of operational bandwidth, but it is there and it is happening. And this is not a done with you program. It's not a do-it-yourself program. This is done for you stuff with agencies and B2B businesses. So it's not really that impressive when you think about it in the grand scheme of things. I'm obviously making a bit of a claim in terms of saying this is the best thing in the market, but when you look at it that way and you look at the fact that this has been around for only the last couple of months, it's very, very new, then the case studies are brewing and they need more time to reach a meaningful level so that I can enter the game properly with this process. It makes a bit more sense and it proves at the very least that it's not completely fraudulent. So the clients have added a couple $100K in MRR in just a few weeks, but nothing in the seven-figure mark yet, because we're probably going to need about 6 months for that. And again, the results are limited because they end up adding too much revenue too quickly and then get hit with bottlenecks. So it's kind of painful, but I spent the last few months fixing bottlenecks in my clients' businesses. So I end up having to learn project management, but now I've pretty much solved for project management to pair that with the sales background that I have. And now my best client is out of day-to-day operations after adding 30K MRR in less than 90 days in a saturated niche with an offer that everyone in the market is sick of. So it's not too bad, but we need to keep pushing and get that case study to a level that's going to absolutely crush. So if I kept growing at the rate that I was growing in the last couple of months, I'd probably fear that my customer success would take a hit, and that would make me sick to my stomach. I really don't want that. So what I want to do now is not scale up that high. Number one, because I just don't care about money to do that. If I'm honest, I kind of stopped feeling the need for money after my first 10K month. So in terms of cash flow, I don't really care, because I'm basically only here because this is the best game in town, and now I want a yacht in 10 years. So honestly, what I'm looking to do now is looking to reduce how quickly I'm going to scale because I want better case studies. So I'm too new to the game and it would be too easy to just close people left and right, spin up a coaching program, some BS like that. It's kind of like winning the lottery. I also think I also think the whole scale fast as possible thing is kind of for biz op sellers. So it's kind of for courses and coaches. What I'd rather do is build out my product and make it ironclad, get sick case studies and deliver a white glove service and build sick companies with good people. So what I want to do is lock in with a few really strong offers and then tell everyone else to kick rocks until I can get 5 to 10 people to 100K MRR added. Because I don't really like marketing my own offers too much because I'm of the strong belief that it's far better to let the case studies do the talking, let the market do the talking, et cetera, and then sort of go from there. Because for context, I can't really say I was that good that fast because I've been in sales for a year beforehand. I've studied copywriting. I've done all this stuff. It's not like I'm Zuckerberg. It's just that this process is really good. So if you want to find out what I'm talking about, watch the rest of this video. I'm going to go through the process and you're going to understand what I'm talking about when I say this is going to add hundreds of thousands of dollars in monthly recurring revenue. This is going to be absolutely insane, but it's definitely new. So the purpose of this document is just to clearly go over that exact process that I'm using and then select 2 to 3 of the best businesses to scale up. So these are going to be businesses in trending markets. These are going to be businesses with killer operators behind them Because if I'm going to work with you, it's got to be worth my time transparently, and it's got to be worth your time as well, because I want both of us to get exactly what we want. On my end, that's going to be killer case studies and just a little bit of cash to compensate me. On your end, that's going to be copious amounts of cash. So if you want to work with me, cool. Let's run it, book a call. If not, then that doesn't change the fact that this is the exact process that you need to be doing if you want to scale. And this is proven by the fact that copycats are absolutely everywhere. So with the little sharing of this message in this process that I've done so far, it has spawned a lot of copycats. People love using my copy. People love using my headlines, using my offers, using my market trends, etc., etc. And that is just proof and validation that this process is really good, because these are not people at the bottom of the market that like watching my stuff and using my stuff. These are people that are really, good at business, and they've liked to watch my videos and adopt the videos. So that is a good sign. And again, to be honest, the only reason this works so well is because I made it up and nobody's using it. So I've looked at a lot of the top guys' stuff. I've spent a lot of time learning. I'm very obsessed with this. And the top guys' stuff is really, really good. It's actually quite good. So there's a lot of talent in the space right now. It's a great time to be here. But what I've seen is that none of them have been able to mix all of it together and create a secret recipe. So that's what I've done in this document, which makes a lot of sense, because recently I actually took a personality test and it told me that I'm the mechanic archetype with a touch of a creator, which basically means that my greatest strength is improving processes that already exist. So mechanics are at their best when they're looking for ways to improve things. They love to tinker and take things apart and then put them back together in a new and better way. And they are at their best when completing things. So you'll see that in the internet marketing industry, a lot of people are good at starting things. They're good at making up ideas, but no one's really good at formulating and synthesizing and digesting and then creating something based on that. So that makes a ton of sense to me. And that's what I'm doing in this video and in this process and with my offer. It is exactly that, is the synthesis and digestion of everything that you would have seen over the last 10 years in internet marketing, plus one. So nobody in the market really has access to this, because it's honestly just from inside my head, derived from hundreds of hours of market research, primary resources, secondary resources, and then again, plus one for intuition and plus one for applied experience. So the businesses that get access to this before it gets to mass market are going to be at an advantage for a long time, in my opinion, because there aren't going to be any courses sold. I'm only going to be working with select few businesses, and then I'm going to be going from there and reassessing from there. So transparently, my price is going to double when the 100K MRR case studies come in. So that might sound a bit arrogant, but I guess we'll just see. If you think the process is good, book a call. If you think I'm a fraud, book a call and put me on the spot. Let's talk business, let's talk copy, sales, anything. Ask me for details, harass me. Let's go on a mission, heroic mission, because I'm never, ever, ever going to ask you to do something that I would not do. So I have been getting high on my own supply, and my business personally, I'm my first case study. I've been getting high on my own supply continuously. My business has gone from 0 to 100 in like that. It's way too quick. I'm uncomfortable with it. I'm scaling back to focus on results. And that's not to say that I'm any Sam Ovens here, but I'm also 20. So it's kind of a parallel where, yeah, the stuff's good, but it is also new. So what I want you to do is take a real hard look at exactly what is in this process, and then you decide. Because I'm aware you can look at this and say, yeah, this guy's a dickhead, etc., etc. And absolutely, maybe I am. Because it is kind of gross to even flex my own results, and I'm aware of all this stuff going on, but obviously it's necessary just to separate myself from the noobs in the market. So number one, I'm sorry about that, but anyway, let's just get to the juice. So no fraud, fuck the fakes, internet market space is rancid, ATM. If you want to run it, you get a guarantee. Cool. If you bet on me, I bet on you. Awesome. Obviously, you can get disqualified on the sales call. Obviously, that's just a given. But either way, we can still have a chat if you like. So it's time for someone to pierce the market. I think everyone can agree it is time for someone to pierce the market. This is exactly what's going on. Maybe it's me in this scenario, or maybe it's you. So either way, let's go. State of the market right now. Everybody has information. So there's a hugely increased availability of information because of done with you and do-it-yourself programs, as well as social media. Everyone is pretty much fairly well educated. This creates copycats though. So that's the caveat. So everyone's got information, but also everyone is copying. So nobody is really good at synthesizing this and making it into its own lane, because everyone is kind of insecure and looking to just do what everyone else is doing. So when done with you and do-it-yourself programs come in, as well as things like funnel hacking, it actually, what it does is it provides a massive opportunity for people to stand out by getting their own stuff. Because if someone has this crazy marketing wedge that makes, it's a crazy tactic, all of a sudden everyone wants to use it. And then everyone's super. And the thing is about everyone being super is that means that no one's super, because obviously the tactic is just getting rinsed over and over. As soon as this blue ocean niche gets revealed to a YouTube channel, there's this crazy niche. Oh, everyone can sell in this. It's so easy to sell in this niche. 1 second it just goes, and all of a sudden it's saturated. So what I encourage you to do is avoid volunteering to become a commodity by copying someone else's model, and basically just try and stand out. Do your own research. So get better data. You cannot stand out without better data. Getting niche insights is the #1 contributor to being ahead of the market and standing out. So don't be a copycat. Make your own lane by getting insights and then using your intuition. So you need to do a deep dive on your market and get to know them. Because the next thing is the hypergamous nature of any B2B model gets disqualified by the operational bottlenecks. This is another trend that's massive in the market right now. Hypergamy basically just means that the best get the best and the rest get nothing. So this is why people lean towards the rev share model at the moment. Everyone wants to charge really high prices, and this can still play out, but no one has really figured out how to do this at scale of clients. So people that really, really will win going forward are going to take many high-paying clients instead of just a few or a lot of low-paying clients. And what this is going to do is it's going to prevent pretenders and these new growth hackers from popping up and taking market share, because the inefficiency right now is that low-level agencies cause good-level clients to hate agencies because the big agencies who can actually deliver results are not taking a monopoly. So there's scraps that are available to these low-level agencies, and these aren't just scraps. These are actually these are meat and potatoes that the low-level agencies are able to capture because the big agencies who can actually deliver results are not taking monopoly. So what I've seen is this is either an acquisition problem or an operations problem. So you need both to be really, really dialed in. Excuse me. And as a result, everyone wants to charge high prices because they can't handle clients. But if you have insane operations and competitive prices, what happens is sales velocity will increase like crazy. So when you think about it as well, this is why done with you programs work so well, is because it's a lower operational bandwidth required for more sales velocity. However, what you can do is you can crack both. So this is what I'm teaching my clients how to do and doing for my clients and myself. So next thing is, from what I've seen, is you can't just have one long form sales letter or one long form VSL anymore. And this is not me saying, oh, you should go omni-channel, you need to do this new mechanism, etc., etc. This is me saying objectively, the best sales processes have a shit ton of video sales letters. This is it's just a fact, because people are barely watching VSLs on landing pages. This is coming out from the top marketers day after day. People don't watch. They're just not watching VSLs. They've seen the VSL thing. It's not new. The other thing is that high-level buyers are not watching your stuff. So the thing is with high-level buyers is they've learned all the marketing techniques, VSLs, opt-ins, email list. Savvier customers will even know what a soap opera sequence is. Not to mention that people are starting to wake up to the fact that, XYZ ABC new tactic is going to come out every day. All this stuff just gets absolutely shot because of what I said at the start, with the information just being so ubiquitous that it's just so easy for all this stuff to get figured out so quickly. So that the idea here is now that you can't just do one thing. You can't just have one exploit and ride one wave to Valhalla, because what it is about building an ecosystem that makes you fucking untouchable and picks up all the qualified buyers so you can get a monopoly and gain the edge of having the unqualified people in the market copy your stuff, but without the case studies. So when this happens, it's actually a great sign that things are working really well. So you become the original and the market essentially echoes you and your thesis and what you're doing. So what works now is basically having an infinite spider web of sales assets where you're having all these things that are available to catch these prospects as they're flying through the metaverse. This is really, really important. So if you look at Hormozi, if you look at Aman Ghazi, Charlie Morgan, Daniel Fazio, Sam Ovens, all of these guys, it's essentially a game of how many sales assets you can make and how many people you can get to watch them. So this is the new model. This is the exact opportunity that has been capitalized by the smart people in the market right now. On top of that, people know how to use offers. People have read $100 million offers. People know sales processes. There's micro adjustments that you need to make for these things. But the major lever that you can do to hedge against everyone knowing anything is making the best sales assets. So this is not just making them, this is making a lot of them, and it's making them very, very high level. Because as sophistication increases on a macro level, meaning everyone is just knowing stuff these days, This also increases the need to identify with the customer and their specific needs, fears, external forces impacting on them, etc., etc. So all this stuff is happening at the moment. You need to get closer and closer to the customer. So what everyone's going to need to do going forward is leverage direct response, but do it in a way that continuously adapts to the relevant tactics as they arise. So the reason this works so well is because you gain a reputation in the market, and this is what lets you bend levels of awareness. So this is about psychology. This is really, really deep stuff. No one talks about this. As your level of status increases, this allows you to change people's beliefs, because they need to subconsciously trust you beyond the regular level. As you gain more authority and status within a specific market, there's an unconscious level of trust that the prospect is not even aware of. So they're gonna, if they consciously trust you, then that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the spot where what you say is not viewed as an opinion. It is no longer viewed as an opinion. This is where you need to be as a B2B seller or a B2C seller. So for example, if Hormozy said the sky was green, you'd probably wait and hear him out. Let's say on this webinar that's coming up, Hormozy says, guys, you know, I've got a secret. The sky is actually green. You're probably you're probably not even going to say, shut up. And obviously this occurs due to results in case studies, but there are also many other things at play. So what you need to do is work on getting this level of trust with prospects, and you use this by using direct response copywriting and delaying the ask. So you can manipulate what's going on. You manipulate your tactics and your strategies to not burn your brand equity, but build a lot of trust. So that covers off the kind of trends on a macro level. In terms of the micro level, what we're seeing on ads right now is that they're expensive and unreliable based on Zuck's BJJ tournament that day, as well as a lot of heavy DR from personal branding, ruining reputation. So this is not healthy for brand. So again, you need to delay the ask or do a Trojan horse like what Hormozy is doing. So Hormozy is basically saying, I've got nothing to sell. I'm not going to sell you anything. But then what's actually happening is he's making a much, much bigger ask. He's saying, give me your business. He's saying, give me rev share, give me equity, which is obviously very, very smart because no one's doing this, and he completely blew away the entire market with this. So it's absolutely necessary here. If you're going to do ads, you need to have content available to achieve the best results, because what's happening now is buyers are clicking around and looking into you. So if you have this content available, ads are going to work much, much better. It's very much the same with outbound prospecting, because inboxes are getting spammed. People are sick of AI. Everyone's watched a YouTube video about how to send cold emails. And it's basically, you need to either hit an untapped market with a new offer, or win based on identifying with the prospect based on their exact problems at the time. And again, absolutely necessary to have content available, because all these people are going to be clicking around. Oh, what's this guy doing? You know, who is he? What's his offer? What's his background? Where did he go to uni? Oh, he didn't go to uni, etc., etc. So you need to have this available. So when they do click around, that's essentially them flying through your sort of portion of the metaverse. And this is what I'm talking about with the spider web. So once you get that traffic, you need to have the infrastructure around in order to catch these people as they're going through. So again, I'm not sure why people are not using BDRs, business development reps, because what they're responsible for doing is basically generating new business opportunities by qualifying leads and prospecting through existing business accounts to engage with potential buyers. This is easily the best option in terms of getting over the whole AI thing. AI is not as effective as a person that's going to send personalized outbound. If you got a BDR sending personalized looms, personalized emails, it's going to outperform your AI every single day of the week. Next, content. So the YouTube sales funnel is the most essential content marketing there is. So what this is posting a mix of video sales letters and lead generation videos. You see this if you look at Aman Ghazi's channel, you're going to see VSLs and you're going to see lead generation videos. Next, 1 minute VSLs are essentially structuring short form videos as compelling content in VSL structure, also known as posting case studies on the relevant platform in this format. These are really good because what they do is they build a lot of rapport, and they can actually go viral if the unique insights that you provide in the video are strong enough and they require zero editing. This is purely copywriting. So pretty much everyone is trying to do this. So the copywriting level is where all of the competition is being played. So the best copywriters are making all of the money right now. And again, long form is really great, but it's slow to work. So what you need to do is consistently post for a while and build equity while simultaneously liquidating the cost of effort that you're putting into the channel. So you need to fund the growth, essentially. So you can hire a consultant to speed this up. For example, someone like Jake Trinder, who specializes in SEO and positioning, or you can just do what I'm doing, which is a mix of both. So you're going to do some high production stuff. You can do some just VSLs. You can do some lead generation. You can do a bit of that, bit of this. However, The defining market trend in 2023 is the increased preference for video content in decision making and sales. So nobody really wants to get on these calls anymore and get Jedi mind hacked by a 17-year-old high ticket closer. Because what are they gonna ask? What do you need to think about? What would you do if your partner said no? Like, all this stuff is just trash. So what you need to do is rip video content, in-depth walkthroughs, how-tos, case studies, vlogs, whatever it is, get them deployed everywhere as much as possible. And then obviously everything's a VSL. So people are going to say this now like they just discovered fire. They say, oh my God, everything's a VSL. Look at Aman Gaji. Look at anyone doing anything impressive in online business. And all they're posting is VSL, direct response copywriting, lead generation videos, all this stuff. So if you don't already know this, please, please, please do not act like you just discovered sliced bread or you just discovered fire. You're probably a bit behind and you need to go and consume more content and get to work and figure out how to do this stuff because it's very, very essential going forward and it will continue to be so. So what you'll need to do is post more sales assets. So what these sales assets do is build a parasocial relationship. And I forgot to add the definition. Essentially, a parasocial relationship is a relationship you feel with someone that you've never met because you see them through the screen. So it's basically making people feel like they know you as well as selling them on certain beliefs at the same time. So this is the real source. So you don't even need to sell, but if you do, you can get away with it. If you don't need to sell, even better. And you can just build your brand. So what you want to do is use a CTA to the rest of your content and then grow your brand even faster instead of selling, if you can afford it. So that's what Hormozi did. So he didn't need the cash, so he grew way, way better. So you can watch this grow in prevalence over time. I've already seen a few people adopt this mindset, but people are already trying to emulate and move in this direction. So if you want to do it, make sure that you're moving quickly and doing it now. Because it's very important. You cannot quantify a brand or personality. So as more people flock to content as the natural solution to macro market sophistication over time, competition is going to be more and more fierce and it's basically going to become a popularity contest. So you also need to analyze the sales process and realize that it starts from when the customer sees their first organic YouTube video or the very first touch point. That's when they enter the spider web, and you need to make sure at the copywriting level and the brand level that you're catching these people as they come in. Because consumers are much more likely to watch a VSL disguised as a YouTube video, shocker, than get on a call with your 7-time BizOp buyer of a sales guy. Sorry to let you know. More or less, essentially the process is new age, optimized B2B sales funnel from lead generated to lead booked to lead closed, plus systems, plus SOPs, and all of this obviously available to be able to break through plateau. By the way, if you aren't already aware that webinars are for PsyOps and direct response, then this is probably not for you and you can click off the video. Essentially what we're going through in this process is how to pierce the market. So people already think that offers are basically headlines. This is not the case. So you'll have many, many headlines and your offer will largely remain the same. The offer is actually the transformation and the vehicle. So this has to be directly derived from the current state of the market, hence the need for research. Do not try and guess the correct offer and do not copy other people. You will not get results if you do that. You cannot also, you're not going to also get results if you just pick some random stuff. So what you need to do is review and collect your case studies, assess the state of the offers in the market in 2023, do some market research, do some AI research, do some product development for a specific offer. And then what you want to do is define the angles to sell from and load up the chamber with sniper bullets. So this is the highest point of leverage in the entire business. If your offer is highly, highly within product market fit, what I call super product market fit, your sales velocity is going to go through the absolute roof. But if it's not, what's going to happen is you're going to try and basically figure out all of these fugazi problems that don't actually exist. And what's going to happen is you're going to think, oh, is it a lead gen problem? Do I have a bad sales guy? Do I need to change the copy on my landing page? Blah, blah, blah. None of that is true. It's probably the offer. So what you need to do is get into super product market fit that finds a profitable subsection within markets that already have product market fit. So for example, doing market research is going to show you what are the things that are selling in the market right now. Okay, cool. All this stuff selling in the market right now. How can I beat all of that stuff and reach super product market fit? Very important to be aware of this. Then what you want to do is test the channel and test the copy and test the resonance of different things in the market. So feeling around for a nerve and then hammer it all the way home. So once validated, you're going to have a banger ready to be made. So this is basically what Ogilvy and Don Draper do. So you want to write bangers because you cannot get results without controlling this again. So unless your advertising contains a big idea, it's going to pass like a ship in the night. So I doubt if more than one campaign in 100 campaigns contains a big idea. That's David Ogilvy. So this is one of the absolute all-time greats of copywriting and advertising. So for example, our big idea is that content should do selling / asset-based selling. People not having a thesis is against our thesis. Cold email is sophisticated. Sales in general being sophisticated. Extend the sales cycle. Tech and AI need to be deployed. All of these things are basically big ideas. Then what you want to focus on is new world distribution. So this is about the new world buyer journey. Like what I was saying, people are going to click around. They want to do their due diligence. They want to go and find out, where'd you go to uni? Where'd you go to college? Who's your girlfriend? What's your dog's name? What's your credit card number? Blah, 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 all this stuff. So what you need to do is deploy a content-based selling system where you've got a wide net of assets and you basically use a spider web. So you need to catch these people. Again, really difficult to get results without controlling this. Because typically the only people that do outbound kind of low status. It's kind of like people trying to get their first couple of clients. So if you're high status, you have all these assets available and you do outbound, you're going to absolutely print. So if you work off referrals and then you start doing outbound, you are going to absolutely print. So on top of that, you can use viral ads, you can use theses, and then you can basically just focus on writing bangers. So if you write bangers, if you write YouTube videos, you write sales letters, etc., and you leverage that in the outbound, you're going to do really, really well. Again, a key is hitting the trends and anchoring in the lower level of awareness, because what I've seen in the market right now is people just say some random trend, and then they say we do X, Y, Z for ABC and rarely create logical arguments for why people should buy, because people are focusing on a small percentage of the market that is already problem aware. So there isn't much scale there because people are busy and unaware. You want to meet them in the buyer journey where they're at. So see the market, then raise like it's poker. So see the market where it's at and then raise the market. A good reference to this is creativeflywheel.io, absolute banger of a VSL. So what you need to use is value times direct response. Then what you want to do is use BDRs, cold email, and a YouTube sales funnel to get eyeballs on this, because it's not much good if you have no eyeballs, obviously. Then what's going to happen is you're going to reach terminal sales velocity. So you're going to gain traction on the platforms. Your brand's going to start moving a little bit. You're going to increase the volume of outbound, and then you're going to increase the volume of content creation. We're actually using AI to do this at our company and for our clients at the moment. And then you become an elite sales organization and leverage up your BDRs and turn them into an in-house lead generation agency. Because essentially outbound prospecting takes a lot of energy, takes a lot of calories in order to get results. So a lot of the time you probably want to do this in-house. You probably want to do this with a lot of energy being put into it and not hire an outsourced lead gen agency, because there's just too much energy that has to go into it in order to get results. So you want to keep that stuff in-house and do it that way. You do this with a leveraged up BDR. Then what you want to do is focus on the sales process. So most people are teaching BS guru sales. This is not a course. This is not a coaching program. If you're B2B, you're not selling to idiots. You're selling to sharp buyers, and you have to act much, much differently in order for that to actually occur. If you want a sharp buyer to buy from you, you actually have to act a lot differently to what people are doing. So in terms of what the sandbox means, the sandbox is essentially like GTA. So what we've seen in the past is that the sales process is like a straight line. There's a straight line selling. Yeah, that's great. In 1920, when people didn't have the internet, whereas now it's like we're in GTA. So if people are rolling the streets of GTA in the sandbox. They can go and talk to a hobo. They can go do a side mission. They go do the campaign, etc., etc. This is not like it's not like the Call of Duty campaign from 2007. This is a broad game where people are competing with other solutions all the time. You can't just psyop people into buying one thing on a singular phone call. So what you need to do is have pre-call available. You need to have pre-call process. You need to lean on sales assets. You need to look at how buyers behave. You need to use status, and you need to be able to sell to freezing cold prospects and turn them warm within 24 hours. To do that, it requires identifying with prospects, and that requires a lot of market research. That's why we do it at the start. Then what you want to do is look at your revenue operations. So where can you use tech? Where can you have a hiring edge? Where can you build a team better? How can you organize how can you have an org structure that's going to be better than the competitors? How can you make SOPs, action plan, project management, CSM? How can you enable your sales velocity with A1 operations? The way you do this is by investing in the product and the systems very, very heavily. Then at this point, you should be making a lot of money. So all it is optimizing. So content types, focus on virality, focus on systems, focus on hiring specialists, focus on pushing it to the absolute limit, sustaining what you've built, and then maybe build, a nurture group of some sort. So essentially what's going on here is we're a sales agency that uses a superior system compared to what's currently on the market. So you need to become an elite sales organization and a marketing organization, and then focus on getting case studies and growing on YouTube. So this requires the intersection of sales acumen and masterful copywriting. So what we do is handle 100% of your business development and then help you close the deal. So you're going to get a designated BDR that handles your account. And as a bonus, we're also going to look for help with ops, because we do a little bit of AI stuff ourselves. And if this is interesting to you, then book a call and I'll run you through the full presentation where we go in depth on all of these topics. We've actually got a much bigger presentation than this, and I'll run you through that because right now I'm running a couple of offers and testing for resonance. So if you're looking to add 50 to 100K MRR, then I might have something for you. So normally I install some of the processes in your business and then recruit and train some people to operate the system for you. But if you're a great fit, then I'll work very, very closely with you too. So grab a time at calendly.com/lxmore/triage-call. And yeah, we'll be in contact very, very soon, and I look forward to it.